Hey there guys, PortalMaster9351 here, and in this video, I'm going to be discussing my personal thoughts about Skylanders Superchargers. So, just a little bit of background information if you've been under a rock for the past few days. Skylanders Superchargers is the 5th game in the Skylanders series, and it will focus around new Supercharger Skylanders that can drive and use all different types of vehicles. Whether it be terrestrial, on the land, aquatic, in the sea, or aerial, in the sky. Among these will include Spitfire, Stormblade, Diveclops, Supershot Stealth Elf. Sorry, I'm still trying to memorize all these names. And each of these characters will have a corresponding vehicle, such as Hot Streak, which is a flaming car, will correspond with Spitfire. Sky Slicer will correspond with Stormblade. It has not yet been revealed what will correspond with Stealth Elf, but Diveclops will correspond with Dive Bomber. So there are 3 different terrains, as some of you may know, and it's land, sea, and sky. And so there will be 3 divisions of vehicles. Obviously, cars and trucks and tanks can travel across the land. Planes and UFOs. UFOs have actually been confirmed by Lou Studdert to be in the game, as of tanks. So planes, jets, all different types of stuff will be for the air, and then boats and submarines, and I'm sure many other types of aquatic vehicles will be able to brave the seafront. So there is that. There will also be no core characters this time around, and light and dark are once again in the game. So, gimmick-wise, I think that it's a very interesting gimmick, and I think that it is very similar to Swap Force's gimmick, but it's different in its own special way. I think that it's one of the most unique gimmicks yet. Even though it is similar to Swap Force in function, it comes in another form. With the vehicles, it just feels very much more dynamic. In terms of what can be done. Some people don't like the fact that driving will be forced, and I'm not too keen on the idea that you will have to use vehicles, the land vehicles, in order to complete the game. But from what I have seen, they look very fun to play as. Each vehicle has a slightly different playing style, as it has different weapons and such, and obviously a submarine is going to move around a little bit differently than a boat is going to move around. So, there's that. As far as the reposes are, in a completely different form, I really like that idea, because I didn't get, and I'm not planning on getting, any of the reposes from Trap Team, because they're just not fun to play as. And I never ever played as my Giants or Swap Force reposes. So they're basically shelf fillers. That's all they did. But these Supercharger reposes honestly look like I'll play as them. Especially since there's only 20 new characters. Which is what I'm going to talk about next. With only 20 new characters and 20 new vehicles, this will be tied for the cheapest game ever with Swap Force. Giants will still be cheaper, and SSA will still remain the cheapest of them all. But it has the fewest new characters of any game ever, and the second fewest figures of any particular game. So there's that. But overall, though, I am really keen on the whole vehicles thing. It's been a very requested feature, and I'm really looking forward to getting to play with these vehicles and sort of experimenting with them. And I'm especially liking the fact that they can move. That's also been another heavily requested feature for Skylands, to have articulatable, posable figures and characters. And with these new characters that have no bases, or these new figures without any bases, where you can actually roll your little car around, or spin the hatch to twirl your little torpedo, propeller thing, that's really cool. And don't even get me started on how insane it is that you can modify your cars. I think that that's really, really amazing. And once again, I'm very glad, though, with the limited number of characters. It'll give a slight reprieve from the buying of these figures, which I do every year. It will be nice to not have to spend as much to get the complete collection and set type of thing. One thing I don't like is that Light Cores don't seem to be returning. From what I've heard, it does not sound likely that we will get Light Cores, and that's kind of sad. And I'm also kind of sad, especially now that I know that there will be these supercharged reposes. I'm kind of sad we're only getting 8 of them. Because I would have preferred, if they're going to completely reinvent these characters, heck, you could have slapped all, let's see, there's 32 originals, then there are 8 new ones, 8 new cores and giants, then there's 16 new in Swap Force, and then like 18 of them, so that's like around 75. It's not 75 exactly, but it's around 75 characters. You could have, not every single one of them, but if you took half of those characters and reposed them, I would have been insanely happy. Especially the forgotten characters. That would have been awesome. Just overall. That would have been a really cool thing to do. So overall, I'm just really excited for this gimmick and such. The actual game itself looks really cool because from what I've seen, we could have around 50 chapters, and that just sounds so nice. And they're short chapters. They're not long. They're not like Swap Force long levels where you had to play an hour to complete anything. I absolutely loathed that. I really don't think I played Swap Force that much because of it. It just took far too long to do anything. SSA so far has been the best at that. Giants was also pretty good, but its levels were a little bit longer. Giants and SSA are tied. Trap Team was definitely better than Swap Force, but it still wasn't as good as SSA. So we have the possibility of online racing coming to this game, and that really excites me because my dad, Tolkien fan forever, bless his soul, is not very good at versus mode. And there was no versus mode in Trap Team, so it's not like he could, even begin to try to play against me. It's no competition for me, no offense to him, when I play the game, because he doesn't play it as much as I do, and he's not familiarized with every single character like I am. I know his attacks, and I know my attacks, and I know exactly what to do. So I would really be interested to see the return of online, or the return of battling, but mostly to have it online. I would really like to see it online. And the reason I think that we have a really good chance for it to be online is because GameStop did list on their website for online racing. So if we have online racing, there's a good chance that we might see online battle mode. Probably still not online co-op. And I don't want to do co-op online. I really don't like playing co-op on Skylanders, simply because you're tethered together. I'm not a fan of that. And I really don't think it would work now that we have the vehicles. It would be too difficult to tether the vehicles. So I really don't think we'll be seeing co-op mode as far as that is concerned. I'm going to now address the portal. The Portal of Power is very, very different. And I kind of like it and I kind of don't. It doesn't look like anything we've ever seen before. The SSA portal, this is the 3DS version, but the regular one is just a bigger one of this. Swap Force was really just a redesigned one without the, the Swap Force one looked very similar to the SSA one. Kind of. It still retained its core concept. The Trap Team portal, I think, has got to be my favorite portal of all time because of the way that you sit the characters down in them. That was really cool. And then, of course, you have your Trap Team mobile version portal. Right here. Which looked different than the console version. And I'm really hoping that's the case with this one. With this next game. And you want to know why? Because Newton's laws. An object in motion tends to stay in motion unless acted upon by an outside force. And there are no forces to act upon these things when we make a turn in the car, or we stop, or anything. These things just fall over. They fall over no matter what you do. I've honestly considered putting Velcro on the bottom of every single figure and putting another piece of Velcro right there so I can Velcro these things down to the portal so that I can play while riding, because it's nearly impossible to play unless I wedge this portal in the cup holder, not the cup holder, but the armrest, I mean, which is where the cup holders are in my mother's car. I mean, it's very hard to play. And, you know, the new portal is even worse, or not even worse, it's about the same. And especially with these vehicles, and the ones with the wheels, I mean, what is a thing with wheels gonna do? It's gonna roll right off. And that's, again, not gonna be a problem for the console version, because you're not moving in your house. Your house is hopefully staying still 24/7. We at least hope that that's the case. Our car is traveling 60 miles an hour on the interstate. And so I'm really hoping that we get another portal. End rant about Newton's laws and portals and things. So, let me think of how I want to wrap this up. I am interested in seeing what comes in the future for this game, because I don't think we've even scratched the surface on this game. As I've said before, the reveal was the least you could possibly reveal for the game to get enough information out there. It was the least you could possibly do. I mean, when you only release one land, one sea, one sky vehicle, and then you only give info on 3 superchargers, or only showcase 3 superchargers. You do show a 4th one, but you don't officially showcase it. I'm talking about Dive Clops. We never saw the figure, but we did definitely see the artwork, as it does correspond with Dive Bomber. Minimalist. The absolute minimum. And all we know, repos-wise, is we know that there is a Terrafin. We know the name of Jetvac, his vehicle, and Trigger Happy, but we haven't seen them. And for those of you that don't know, it's Double Dare Trigger Happy, Hurricane Jetvac, and Jetstream is Jetvac's vehicle. I believe I saw that in the Game Informer article. So if you go to the Dark Spiral homepage, you'll see the post on the home screen of Dark Spiral, and if you scroll down, it says there's already articles on GameSpot, Kotaku, Polygon, Game Informer. Click on Game Informer, read the article. You should see them talk about Hurricane Jetvac and Double Dare Trigger Happy. Again, we don't know what Double Dare Trigger Happy's thing will be. We can only speculate that it's a motorcycle, just based on the outfit. But I think that E3 is going to bear some interesting news. We've already gotten confirmation that we're going to have a very interesting surprise at E3. And in my next video, I'm going to cover that, because we have a blurry image of the poster. If any of you recall, on the sides of most of the starter packs, it has a very small micro image of the poster. Right here you can see that it's on, this is the Giants 3DS thing, which I recently got in the mail from Best Buy. It was on clearance, so I was actually able to snag this thing for $14. Talk about a deal. So anyways, you can see right here that on the side, let me try to focus this, there is a minuscule Giants poster. Well, someone was able to look at the starter packs, refocus, come on, iPad, refocus. Someone was able to look at the side of the Supercharger starter pack and was able to clear and depixelate that image and then enlarge it. And there were some interesting things discovered. We couldn't tell any of the figures or anything. All we got was numbers, and the numbers on that poster do not line up with what we've been told. There are 18 Superchargers and vehicles on that poster, and 10 of who even knows what on that poster. I think it's Adventure Pack pieces or Repos Giants, but I'm going to talk about that in another video. But I just wanted to wrap this up by saying, what are your thoughts on Skylanders Superchargers? Tell me down in the comments. But as always, this has been PortalMaster9351. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time, everybody. Goodbye!